and welcome to Havaita's podcast. Today, I am joined by Eli Doron, who is an incredible CTO and co-founder of Cartiv. Let me know if I'm saying that correctly, which is just a fascinating company that I'm just so excited to learn more about. So, Eli, thank you so much for joining us on Havaita today.
Thank you, Shira. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
Wonderful. So, Ellie, maybe you can just, first of all, just tell me a little bit about yourself because your experience and history as an Israeli, I'd love to hear, like, were you born in Israel? Are your parents from Israel? Let's start with that and kind of how this is not your first rodeo. You have an incredible amount of experience behind you. So I would just love to understand a little bit more about you and share with our listeners who you are.
Okay, great. I will. So I was born in Israel. My both parents were born in Iraq. My father did Aliyah in early 40s, and my mother in the early 50s, and I was born just after that.
Okay.
So
You don't have to go into the number. It's okay.
I don't care. Everybody can make the calculation. So I grew up in Ramat Gan, and at the age of 18, I joined the army. I was serving in Egoz. It was a different unit than today. It was belonged to the north part of Israel, and I spent there 3.5 years, more than I wanted, because 4 days before I had to finish, the Yom Kippur War started. So
Whoa.
I had an extension of another half a year. But this is long in the past. Then I started my study at the University of Beersheba, and I studied electronic engineering. And my first, which I finished in 77, my first job was in the Israeli aircraft industries. Today it's called Israeli Aerospace Industries.
Okay.
And by the way, this is anecdote. I don't know if I can say that. I think, I hope that my first, I would say, project was a missile to Iran.
Wow. Full circle moment.
Yes, which was stopped at 79 when Khomeini came to power
Right.
in Iran.
Wow. Okay.
Then I served there for 6 years, and then I moved to a small company which did simulators. It was also semi-defense industry because the customers were defense, but the technology that we were using was more like commercial, even not industrial, some of it. So, and I was there 9 years, and I started as head of hardware, and then I finished as CTO as well.
Wow.
In 92, I got an offer from a friend of mine who was my boss in that company. The name of the company was Simtech. It's not existing anymore, and to start a new startup. The only thing that he knew is that it is going to be in a video conferencing area.
Okay.
And we said, okay, let's go. I didn't know anything about startups. It was 92. And eventually, after trips that we did to the US, there was no internet at that time yet. We came to the conclusion that video conferencing was there, but only for big companies, and it cost a lot of money. And it was the beginning of standards that were put in the market. So we knew that when there is a standard, it could be widespread. So we decided that we would like to do video conferencing, but we were very, very brave and said we will not use the networks that was at that time. We will go over the internet. And the internet was very, very, what's called it wasn't the name internet, but it was what we are using today. So actually, the name of the company was Rad Vision. It was part of the Rad Group. And we were the first in the world to do video conferencing over the internet, the one that we are doing now.
So this is like pre-Zoom was what technology was it really using then? It's just I'm curious
We
about
used hardware. It's not that it was hardware that people put in their
in the office.
business, and we could do multiple people at the same time with this technology.
Okay.
And with time, in the last 30 and something years, it evolved to be mainly software. But at that time, it was hardware. We did the hardware. In 2000, the company went public in Nasdaq. I was there for 16, 17 years.
Wow.
I was the CTO there as well. And since then, I started another startup which didn't succeed.
Okay. Which I appreciate you saying that because, we can't always have wins. So
Yeah,
that's really
yeah,
important to hear. Yes.
yeah. And in like 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, a friend of mine he worked with me in Red Vision, we joined forces, and together with Zohar Zisapel, who was the investor behind the Goldbrad Group, we founded the Cartiv. And we say Cartiv, Cartiv in Hebrew is the ice cream.
Yes.
This
Okay.
is
I love
this
it.
is and there is also a meaning, of course, in English. And we decided that we want to go into the autonomous mobility.
Okay.
We knew that we estimated that it will take long time. At that time, I think it was 2019, that it will take long time until there will be real autonomous vehicles in the roads. And we decided to we started to interview people and understand why it takes so much time, and we came up with the conclusion that there are two reasons, the main two reasons why it takes so much time. One is the speed of the vehicle. As long as the vehicle is driving fast, the stopping distance is also longer, and it's longer in the square, not linear. So if we will drive slow, then we simplify the problem. And the second thing, the chaotic of the public road, so everything can happen. And we see even today, 6 years later, that there are always something happening in the street that didn't think about.
Mm-hmm.
We decided that we would like to work in a managed area.
Okay.
It's not in the public road. And we found out that there is a solution, which is a golf cart that is driving in low speed in managed areas. So we decided that we'll do the autonomous golf cart. We are not the manufacturers of the golf cart. So for
Okay.
us, the golf cart, it's only a vehicle. It could
Right.
be tomorrow something else. It could
Okay.
be any vehicle that meets the two requirements that we put: driving slow and driving in a managed area.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm imagining like I in South Africa, for example, I stayed in a resort, and the only way that they could get you to the dining area and the lobby is through a golf cart. So I'm assuming that resorts, hotels, I see all the towels, for example, going back and forth on the golf carts would be like a good target audience for you.
exactly. So we started with the resorts, retirement communities,
Yes.
universities, gated communities. I know there are also in many places in the world, airports, which I will get to it in a minute, but any place which is a small
Control.
area, we map the area in advance.
Okay.
Usually the rides are not long, and
Right.
which is also important, at least in the US and in most of the European countries, the regulation, there is no regulation of the Department of Transportation or police even in these areas. So we also not required to meet any kind of regulation. We need to be safe, but
Of
not
course.
not meeting these regulations. So we built this solution in the last 5 years. We started in, I would say, mid 2024, sell the solution in the US and, of course, in Israel, but Israel is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
What we also decided is that we are providing the full solution. We are providing the vehicle, we are providing some kind of a site management or fleet management, and we are providing the web apps through the user. Like the guest in the resort is ordering the vehicle to come to pick him up and set the destination. So this is the solution. We got excellent feedback from the market. People say like what you have said, the resort manager. They said that the most problematic issue that they have is the transportation. They can take $1,000 per night, and still they have problem with the if somebody is asking for a vehicle to take him. They don't know when the vehicle will come. They don't know if there is a battery in the vehicle. So it's something which is not controlled well by them. And we got, as I said, a very good feedback. However, there is a psychological issue. People are not that. I would say they are not running fast in order to implement or deploy such a solution because they are afraid. They are afraid that something will happen, and do we have an insurance? And we have an insurance, but all kind of questions that shows that they are hesitating. If something works well, why change? This in some places. And you require either a very brave or some manager that says, I would like to be in front of the technology, and then it starts. So this is the solution. We are a relatively small company. We are 15 people. My partner Avinoam Barak, who is the one that worked with me in Red Vision, is the CEO. We are based in Rishon LeZion. We are here because we got an area which our vehicles could drive there. We cannot be in in high-rise buildings.
Absolutely. Ellie, are you currently deployed anywhere right now? Is anyone
Yeah,
testing
yeah.
using?
So I'll it's we started as I said in Israel and in the U.S. In Israel, we were in two places.
Okay.
One of them was Park Leumi in Ramat Gan. It's the big national park. We were there 3 months, and eventually a lawyer asked a question: Why do we have a permission from the Department of Transportation, which we cannot get in Israel? So
Okay.
they decided to stop the service, but it was very successful service. People liked it very much, and unfortunately, the area that the Park Leumi Ramat Gan is actually not allowing golf carts to drive there. That's the reason. If they were designated by the Department of Transportation, which they could, we could have walked there. And we had a long service in Bar Ilan University, and we are continuing there from time to time. In the U.S., we were in a few places, and one of them is I think the most important in Seattle Airport.
Oh, wow.
Seattle Airport asked for 3 months POC to see how autonomous vehicles could drive people from the terminal to the train station. Just to give you on this, it's like a bridge. It's
Yes.
an indoor, and every day, 15,000 people are going on this bridge, which is huge, and we had to navigate through these people. But I think this is our uniqueness that we can drive between people. Like in the national park in Ramat Gan, there were thousands of ducks, and we could maneuver between the people and the ducks.
Wow, that's amazing. I could see also a great use case for amusement parks, right? Amusement
Yeah.
parks, water parks. Like I'm just thinking of all the opportunities for this. And especially though universities, because I do think in terms of, being hesitant to try it out, university students would be the first ones to jump on a ride, right?
Yeah.
They would be very
So
open.
universities wants that very much because they don't have enough. Even if because people come with their own vehicles, and what we offer is a shared service, and they don't have enough spaces for parking, and when everybody is coming with his own vehicle, then it becomes congested.
Sure, for sure.
So this was in Seattle Airport. It was for 3 months because from the beginning it was defined as 3 months, and now they are writing the RFP for a longer term or full
Amazing. Oh
service.
my God,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. So how do you go about, Ellie, finding new potential customers? Like, what type of marketing are you guys doing?
Okay. So actually, I will maybe surprise you. The only thing that we did is that we put all the effort on our keywords in
Yeah.
the site, and we got enough people who contacted us. I mean, we
Wow.
cannot support even all of them. Some of
Wow.
them are in territories that geography that we are not supporting at all. In
Right.
the currently, again, we decided to focus on the U.S. and Israel, but we got a lot of requests from the United Arab Emirates, in the Middle East, even Saudi Arabia and many other places. So we do have a lot of requests. I'm not saying that all of them are
Target audience.
such that we can do that, but we have enough. We don't have enough even vehicles to
Wow.
support all those who wants that.
That's
We're about
unbelievable.
to start. We're about to start in like service in retirement community in Florida.
Okay, amazing.
Uh, yeah, and this is something I would say we didn't understand it when we started, but elderly people, for them we are really a big help because some of them cannot drive anymore, and if they
Sure.
don't drive, they are isolated. Nobody else is taking them anywhere, and for them, a service like us is very helpful.
Absolutely. I mean, I do see all the golf carts in the airport, taking the elderly back and forth to their gates, and to baggage claim. So that also could work, very well within the airports for the elderly. I think that's a
Correct.
fabulous idea. But I'm curious, are the elderly more concerned about getting on without a driver? Or are they open to it?
No, I don't think so. What's amazing is that the Seattle airport did some kind of a survey between the people that took the rides and between the people that walked, and how all of them felt about the autonomous. I would say that 50% of them said that at the beginning they were hesitating, but when they finished, they said more than
Wow.
90% that they will go again. So they were convinced it's safe. We didn't have any one issue of
Wow.
safety in
That's
the Seattle
incredible.
airport.
That's incredible. Wow. That's unbelievable. Yeah, I would assume that safety would be their biggest concern when they don't see a driver. You see these commercials for these Ubers that come pick you up now that are autonomous. And
Yeah.
certain people are like, "Wait, where's the driver?" Well, you could put like a fake driver there. They put, right? There's a lot of
You know what we did? We in Halloween we put a skeleton in the place.
that's amazing. There's so many ideas
and,
of what you could do with that.
and we
Yeah.
said that he was so pleased with the drive. It was a human, but
Oh my
he
God.
didn't get out. So this is what happened. So.
That's hilarious. So, in terms of the financing, like how does that work? Because, most of these airports, even amusement parks, retirement homes, they have the carts already, right? They already have them, or a few, driving around. So, what are the financials for them if they want to get involved? And
Okay, so first of all, we are not selling the vehicle. We are providing it
okay,
as a lease for 5 years.
okay,
The cost, the price that we are asking is, I would say, ridiculous. Really, I would say why? Because we started with $1,000. Then people laughed at us. Why? Because one driver cost is like $6,000, $7,000.
what?
If there
Wow,
are two shifts in the U.S., I'm not saying in
a
any.
month. This is a month, you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
if you need two shifts and you
yeah,
need 7 days a week, it
right.
becomes even higher. So we increased the price to $3,000. In Seattle Airport, it was $6,000, and still They want us because they save money on the driver, and they save money on managing the people. It's
Yeah.
in the Seattle airport, the drivers, the human drivers, they have a service with human driver, but they leave because if somebody gives them another $1 per hour, they don't want to stay there and drive all the day, 300 feet. That's it. So this is what we do. Especially, we are not selling to individuals. We are selling only to places which are fleets. Although
Right.
we got requests from individuals, mainly people who are disabled that wanted somebody to drive them. So one site is approximately 20. Now, if somebody has already vehicles, we can take the old one and bring them the new one. We don't care about it. Anyhow, they lease it, and they don't have to put a lot of capex to buy it. So it's
So this
easier.
is saving them, I mean, if you multiply that by 20, this is saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Correctly.
And it can run all the time without breaks until it needs to be charged.
Yeah. And
Right.
and we provide them all the charging management so they don't end up in the peak hours when there are vehicles but no battery in the vehicle.
So how does that work with the charging? Does the system automatically bring it back to the charger?
Automatically we send them to the charger, but a person
Somebody has
needs
to
to
connect.
connect them. Yeah, and we could have done it also automatically, but we said that there is always somebody who needs to see that the vehicle is clean and store it somewhere in the at night. And what we do, we decide that this vehicle needs to be charged. We send an SMS to the person, which was
Oh, that's so
already
smart.
defined, and he knows that the vehicle comes and he connected. And then when we decide that it's time to stop the charging and put it back to service, we also send an SMS. So this is the way that we are working today.
Also, I'm just thinking, because this is my field is the marketing side. So I'm just thinking also in hospitals, like all the hospitals, they transport. I know, for example, my husband works in Lanyado, and the ER is not connected to the main hospital. Patients have to go between the two. Even when
Yeah,
I gave birth to my son in Rambam Hospital, he was in the NICU, I was in the regular hospital. I had to walk, I could barely walk. I remember that. It was so difficult for me. So that could also be a very interesting use case for you as
correct. We
well.
we also had some kind of demo in Shiba Hospital. Shiba
Uh,
is huge. Shiba
yeah.
is like a city.
Oh,
We
Shiva's
decided
huge.
not to go there at the beginning. They
Okay.
wanted that, as you have said at the beginning, they wanted that not for the people, but more for the
For the
sheets and the
yes.
laundry things because they huge number of
Yeah.
laundry that they need to transfer between the buildings.
Yeah. Absolutely. Agreed 100. I see them all the time, all the sheets and the towels and everything going back and forth with the people. And I always wonder, where do they find these people to do this? Like, how many hours are they doing this? So this is just unbelievable that it's totally autonomous. And I love the idea that you did it in a closed area because it reminds me a little bit of the iRobot, the floor cleaner that you first map out the GPS of
Yeah.
the mapping of the floor plan so that like, and it can bypass ducks and people and geese, and it's amazing. So
So
if
we do the same. We map the area and we put into the mapping not only the routes that we need to go, but also some safety issues. Like if there is a segment of the road that you cannot drive fast, then we put on the map that you need to reduce the
speed.
speed. Or as an example, if there is a bumper, then there is a bumper. All kind of parameters that helps us to be safer and that people will feel good when they drive in our vehicle. They feel comfortable.
It's amazing. So what is your roadmap now for 2026? I mean, hopefully now you're past proof of concept now with this
Yeah.
program that you did. So what are your goals now for 2026?
So we need to sell more in the US. That's the main
Okay.
thing. Yeah, because we are only in Florida. Maybe
Yes.
we'll be next month in also Georgia someplace. But
Okay.
That's for the short term, let's say 2026. We need more people or sites that are using us. Then I think that we would like to expand to two directions. One is having vehicles that could, not a golf cart, that could drive in some colder areas. That with the golf cart now in North America, North America, we cannot drive. And one more thing, which is we put it as a goal from the beginning, but we haven't done anything, is in Europe. In Europe, there are city centers which most of them today are close to private cars. What the city offers is bicycles or walk or some of them scooters. But more than half of the people cannot do any of those. And four wheel, low speed in very restricted area. This is where we would like to be next.
I love it. No, it's great. And if my audience, our listeners, are interested and want to get in contact with you, how can they reach you?
Okay. So first of all, through our website, which is cartiv.com. By the way, I didn't say the name, the explanation of it so it's cart because we are doing golf cart, and it's electric autonomous vehicle. So this is the Cartiv. It happened to be,
Speak.
yeah, and it's happened to be, which we didn't plan, but it's a good. It's also the beginning of the names of me and my partner, which is Eli and Avinoam. So that's just something that, how to remember.
I
But
love That's great. That's great. Amazing. So I'm going to post your website if anyone would like to get in contact with you. I'm sure our listeners are also thinking of the elderly that are in wheelchairs or homebound that would like to have one. I know you're not selling it, or leasing it one to one individual, but definitely in the future, maybe that's, where you'll go with this as well. And
yeah,
it can be used by so many people.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Ellie. Well, thank you so much for joining Habaita. It was wonderful to meet you. Wishing you only the most success. I'm loving this Israeli innovative technology. And I specifically love that you first realized what the challenges were, the challenges of, safety and speed. And you came up with a whole business model focused on how to, achieve reducing the speed and keeping it within a closed environment. And it's really, really genius. So kol hakavod, and only the biggest mazal and luck to you and your company. And if anyone would like to reach out to Ellie, you could reach out to him via his website. So thank you, Ellie, so much.
Thank you, Shia, very much. Thank you for the opportunity.